Welcome back to Project Ozone 2 Kappa mode with me, grayduster, and at the end of last episode, we did some Botania, but I'm over here in the last millennium setting up some farms. Only really two dimensions I can consider for farms. One is the mining world, which I may want to actually mine out. So yeah, and maybe not going to go there. And here, this other void world, which is away from my base. All the performance is away from my base, so I should have to worry less about my frame rate. You see the frame rate over here is around 90, and I'm recording at the moment, so it's higher when I'm not recording. I would show you that, but if I did that, then you wouldn't see it because I wouldn't be recording. So I went and made more seeds. You can see this is actually now starting to work, but let's have a look at the seeds. I made a few different types. I made steel seeds, which uses Imperial Essence. Remember I was showing you the crafter at the end of the last episode, where we can make this using Botania and those essences. I'll show you that in a second. Dense nether pig iron ore, you get the pig iron ore from the nether, and then you can put it in the pressure chamber that we have to make dense. I think it's 4:1 or 5:1, something like that. I think it's 5:1. Then you can just put that into the runic altar, which we've done before. You can make electrical steel seeds, you just need electrical steel blocks. Energetic alloy seeds, energetic alloy rocks, you get the idea. It's just essences and the thing you're trying to create seeds from. So I've put these down, and you'll see this one sprinkler can cover this entire, well, this is covering this area. So ignore this row. This sprinkler is covering all of this. So it covers a 7x7, and you can cover that with just a single sprinkler. And this harvester, by default, covers this range of 3x3. However, I'm going to need a lot of harvesters if I did that. So, whoops, I don't want to step off there. Facade for now. Yep. That's the only disadvantage with having the ability to step up one. You step off walls. So in here we've put the upgrade emerald, which is 11 increase in radius. So that's 22 increase in diameter, plus the 3 from the default is 25. So this is a 25 by 25 area, and we should be able to get a lot of crops in it. I'm not quite sure of the layout yet. For now I've put some electrical seeds, steel seeds down in 3x3, but I think probably I may increase that to 9x9. Then we'll have 9, 18, 27 it would need normally, so maybe just skip on the edges by 1 and then it'll be okay. Or maybe just 5x5. In fact, that would work. That would work a lot better. 5x5, what am I thinking? So, yeah, sums. Especially when you're recording. If you haven't recorded your stuff before, you realise just how bad you are at maths when you're actually trying to talk at the same time. So the area will be something like this. Let's just knock out that last row. Let's just centre it. So 5 by 5. And we can just put in, I think I've got some more electrical seeds. I do. So, in that case, we can have 25 blocks of these 5x5s. So 5 horizontal, 5 vertical. That at least should work out. And all of them will be covered with this one harvester. Now, this harvester is outputting to the back. It's got a higher priority input on the compactor, which will take electrical seeds essence. Now, in order to, actually, for that to work, we need more power. And I have power down here, which we're running out from this. I moved this from the base because it was making this howling noise, and I really didn't like it. But it does produce something like 48 RF per tick at this height. I can move it up and out of the way, all the way up there if we want to. But I need to put some pillars in to do that. I probably will do that later, though, to get this noise out of this part of the base as well. So we can run power this way, and I can even take that one out now that I've got power at the back. Let's get rid of you. The right tool. And now the compactor is outputting, and it needs to output somewhere, so in this case I'm going to output on green as well. I think that should now work because it won't recompact, so I need to have recursive turned off. In fact, I'm not even sure if that would even help. So yeah, well, that actually is already done that. It's recursively compacted ingots into steel blocks. So I'll just turn that off. We'll just store ingots at the other end. And then change this to insert out and active. And there it goes. You don't put it back into itself. I may need to block things on the insert side with a filter. But I'll figure that out. Yeah, let me figure that out and we'll come right back. One other thing you do need to watch out for with harvesters is they do produce fluid called sludge, if I remember rightly. Yeah, and they don't like it if that isn't taken care of. So what I've just done for the moment is just grab a drum and we'll replace this later. You can use the sludge in a sludge boiler, so it is useful in other ways. And that immediately is exporting. Yep, there we go. So are you now working? We've got extract always on. Electrical seed essence. And that is working fine. I didn't have to make any changes. It's just because I had that first block on recursive. You'll try 2x2 recipes first, but we can just do only 3x3. And then that should be fine. So this should now grow just fine. And I've put more and more sprinklers above. They all stack up, so we may as well use them. That's my facade, and then that is my ground. So that's growing, and growing nicely. It is not particularly harvesting quickly, though. And is that just the available power? I wonder. The only problem with doing this with 25x25, I think it's because it's now scanning this entire area for crops. So once we fill up the entire area, it will do so, but then it has to go through these one by one and see if it can actually harvest them. I do remember this from previous playthroughs, so I think that's what it is. We may be able to speed that up with some other upgrades, external upgrades, tick up, what are they called? Time, something or other. Imaginary time. Manipulates time to increase the growth of crops. I don't know whether that increases the amount of, well, the speed of machines, but we can certainly use it to increase the growth of crops. Not that we need that too much, but we need growth pulsers, compressed Gaia. This pack. Yeah, that's going to be some... Oh, and that, even this far down in the recipe, that is constrained by mercury, just like everything else. So we need to go down with Galacticraft. So I'll finish that up between episodes. There's nothing terribly technical about it now. It is just growing and producing electrical steel. I then will move in my advanced Agricraft thing there between the episodes, the advanced farming station. Moving on to Galacticraft, as I was talking about it. If I click on this thing, there we go. Is what I was trying to do, and I foolishly thought I could just extract anything from any side. You know, like you would. Unfortunately, no. Galacticraft does not like that. The only place you can seemingly extract from is the bottom where this yellow and black stripe is, which puts paid to my really nice vertical layout where I can see the front of all the machines, nice logos, and just control the outputs with these switches or whatever I wanted to do to control things. That's not going to work out, unfortunately. This is the ore from Mars that I've been gathering. You need quite a bit of it, so that's that. What I actually wanted to do then is set up a similar thing up here. And this is the only other layout that I think might work. If I don't do it this way, then I'm going to have to leave one gap between each machine. And I don't particularly like the idea of that. So what I've done is try it this way, and let's see what actually goes on. We've got power running all the way from our corner over there. That was the wind and solar, but it also goes down through that column and into the rest of our system. So we are getting power, or we should get power just fine. Yeah, we have. And now I just need to set up the item conduits. So our power rail is running under here and across into that machine. Again, if it wasn't for the fact you have to power them on the left-hand side, this would be a lot easier. If Galacticraft developers are listening, please let us put power in any side. This is why they're all stacked up this way. This is the only side you can put power in. Okay, so I'm going to go and start that and see if we can get a decent setup, and then I'll come back and explain. Okay, so remember when I said I couldn't stack them vertically? Well, this is why. I'm going to have to get to the bottom of these, and we can feed in from the back quite easily. Let's just go and make sure that's all set up. Yeah. So on each of these, I've put some input filters. This one will only input the two different types of steel, one from the plants, one from our blast furnace. This one, only aluminium. This one, only bronze. Okay, we can't pull back out of them. I wish we could, but we just can't. Input on this one is, however, compressed aluminium, compressed steel, and compressed bronze. And I'm not sure if actually can specify those in the same right order, because we need to make sure they input in the right order, or at least that it sorts them in the right order. That's the only downside to this particular these particular machines. So on the bottom side, we need to pull all of the products back out of them, and then we can't really put the stuff in that way. They've got to go in here. Okay, so let's just put that away for a second, and we want to turn this node off, I think. Oh no, we have to, yeah, we're going to use that later, but I don't want it on for now. That's okay, I can leave that there. These, however, we do want always to extract. Okay, and what they should do is then input into this fourth one, which they are. You need to make sure this doesn't get mixed up, and it won't do as long as you just leave everything alone. But if you put things in manually, it'll get confused and it can get blocked up. But I think that's been improved. In earlier versions, they were quite dumb. In this version, they tried to basically take inputs. We're filtering the inputs so that they're guaranteed to be in the right machine. And once they output, they're going to go into this machine, because only this machine allows them as inputs. So it won't get mixed up with other stuff, won't get recipes mixed up, and it makes heavy duty plate tier 1. So let's just dump the rest of these in here. Aluminium, some steel, and some bronze. This is going to start clanging like crazy. Once these get in, oh, are they feeding into the, yeah, there we go. So aluminium was first, steel is going in, bronze should be going in next. Yep, there it goes. And we're going to get clangs like crazy. So let me just put that conduit back and do the same under here. There we go, nice and clean. And I'm going to need to put another piece of conduit in, but that should sort everything. Let's get rid of some of that sound, shall we? Do we have... Now, what options do we have for sound mufflers? Okay, extra utilities is fine. Rain or sound. Rain isn't a problem here. So what do we need for the note block? Am I out of wood? I'm always out of wood because I keep making crop sticks. Note block. Let's just make a few actually. There we go. And anything noisy around the base now, we can just put this nearby and it should help. Maybe around here? Are you still noisy? Or have you finished processing? No? Oh, that's so much better. Thank you, Automated Chapter. I think it's Automated Chapter who does extra utilities. Thank you so much. So, we've got a quiet Galacticraft setup, at least the first 4. However, remember when I said I went to Mars? Well, Mars is okay, but it requires the next level of heavy-duty plate, which is tier 2. That takes in the heavy-duty plate from tier 1 and some compressed meteoric iron. So we're going to have to dedicate another Galacticraft machine for meteoric iron. That comes from meteoric iron ingot, which comes from alloy smelting raw meteoric iron. Now we can already set that up, and I have been doing a little bit of it just by putting it into our machine over here. Yeah, so we've got 47. We can just grab that for now. But ideally what we may want is another, like a small furnace setup here, because it doesn't need a special furnace. You can't really duplicate it or double it or triple it. So we can just, let's just put it in my inventory. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5, we probably want to put one there. And an input with a filter of That's the raw stuff. We want the ingots, so I'm going to have to smelt it. You make it with iron and skystone dust, so let's just smelt that together there. And then we'll grab some of the top. Yep, already made some. Just like I prepared earlier. I really didn't. If you can't tell. So, raw meteoric iron, that will go into here. The output will come out the bottom, which we're going to need to get to again. And that is, so I'm going to have to rip up the floor again. But no worries. And that is going to be you, is it? Yeah. So then we're going to have an output there. And that will be active all the time once I have an input for it to go into, which is this last one. Which will take, let's just, whoops, this last one in there. Do I have any of the plates I'm going to need? I'm going to take some of you. And I'm just going to, yeah, that was in the half second that I had this as an open input, it put some ingredients in. So you're going to have to do this with filters unless you want to separate things out. What am I doing? Onto the back. Yeah, that's filtering fine. So if we put a couple in there, that should, or does it just need one? It just needs one for the meteoric iron, thankfully. And we're just going to grab one of these pieces once they're done. And then this whole setup of 6 machines should be enough for tier 2. So if we go in here into the input, and where's my filter ready for this? Input filter, and then only allow you, and make sure we take out any of the stuff it's trying to insert. Okay, now we just need to pull the ingredients out of the last one. Turn that on for both of these now. Always active, always active. I think that's done once I put this last piece of cable down. Is it? Oh no, it should already be connected because of that. Yeah, so it's producing tier 2. Tier 3 for the next rocket needs this these ingots from Mars. So I'm going to need to put down more, but you get the idea. I'm not going to demonstrate it too much because it's all the same from this point onwards. Once you got past these first 3, it's just adding the previous step in. So about tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, etc., etc. And you can see that on here. So tier 3, what's for tier 4? Yeah, it's a tier 3 plus compressed carbon, which is from Venus. And tier 5 is palladium. I think that's out from, does it either Mercury or Jupiter? Probably Jupiter. And there's the other issue you have to deal with. If you have thermal gear, you're going to have to make the next thermal gear up. This is the tier 2 version, which I did actually craft. But if we look at tier 2 thermal, and we look at the cloth, that is again made from this Martian material, plus 2 of the previous version. And then I assume if I go to tier 3 cloth, it's going to be the Venusian tier 3. Thermal cloth, compressed carbon, yeah. So I'm going to need to go to Venus to get the next tier up, because it's going to be very much like Mars, though. I don't think there's much point showing it. If you want to see it, by all means, let me know in the comments. Happy to do those. It's very, very samey. Okay, so that's that sorted. We've got Galacticraft fully automated, and that setup looks really nice, more to the point. I don't have cables everywhere, which it just would really annoy me. This is going to get moved out between the episodes, as are these seed storage. I need some cardboard boxes. I think they're quite easy to create. Cardboard. No, it's one word. Okay, cardboard box. Unless they retain their storage. I'm not sure if they do. It just needs sawdust. We've not made sawdust before. It needs a sawmill. We'll just use it from a sag mill. Okay, that's fine. No big deal there. So what is actually next? We've got 2/3 of the episode done. Let's make the best use of the last third. See what we actually need. How are the quests? How are they going? So as you can see, I'm already through a few of these quests. We've got this one, so we may as well get that done. Got the tier 2 rockets. Evolved skeleton bosses. I killed far too many of those. The next one up, however, the one actually, if I can do. At one point, I will show you another boss fight from Mars, because it's more like a gassed fight than it is anything else. Ooh, another one of those. That's fine. I tend to throw them away from things and take measures I already have. That is okay. Let's just put them away just in case for safety reasons. I really need to clean these chests up. Maybe I'll do that between the episodes as well. We are, of course, aiming for AE2 when all of this disappears into digital storage, which is so much nicer. And ideally, get the performance of the base up. Now we do want to quickly look at Botania. I didn't show the crafting of those seeds, but again, we've done runic altars before. I've looked at the terrestrial agglomeration plate in the previous episodes, so that's all fine. You know how to do that one. So next, I think I'm going to move those out and start manufacturing tier 3. Yeah, let's come back in a minute and we'll sort some more out for the rest of the episode. And just to illustrate how the harvester scans here, you can see it scanning across from my left to my right here, from all the way over there towards me. It's doing one row at a time. As it actually goes through, it's going to do this row next. So it's working its way through. So there are a few ways we can actually deal with that. One is we can just put more harvesters over there, and because they'll all start at different points, this sort of scan line of crops is going to move across at multiple different points. Or you could put them, you know, each of the middle of the 4 sides, and then have them work in all kinds of different directions. These plants are growing far, far faster than this one thing is able to do. So we don't need that much resources at the moment. We may need to scale this up later, but the plants are well ahead of it here, so we don't have to worry too much. One brief note. When you're trying to put these irrigation channels down, if you use an unbreakable wand or any kind of wand, it converts them into, well, watch. Converts them into oak wooden irrigation channels, which is fine, apart from the fact that you can't share water between oak and jungle wood. So if you are putting them down, they'll get with 0 water. I've put another infinite water over there just so that they're all, well, not filled, but not low level, so that these can all these sprinklers can rotate. So it looks pretty good. For now, I've not put anything important in here. I was just putting these in just to show you that it's actually scanning across from farthest away to closest. So I guess if you want the crops initially, well, it shouldn't matter much over time. I guess you could just put them in a long line away from it if you wanted to do it that way. But either way, it's pretty good. Surprise road trip time. Our setup over here brings us everything we now need. I've put these switches in place. They go to the outputs. So only if these are on will the output to the next tier, because sometimes the rockets for tier 3 need some things for rockets for tier 2. The one downside of this setup that I can't seem to solve, and if any of you know how, please let me know, is that this one isn't too bad. But in this one, when it runs out of the secondary component, like in this case the meteoric iron, because the meteoric iron is hard to make and slower, if these are actually outputting beforehand, they'll fill up both of these slots and then it won't actually proceed to the next stage. Same thing with this one. It'll fill up both these slots with the Martian stuff. Only reason, well, we can get away with it just by shutting off the earlier switches when we need to produce tier 3, etc. But I like something automatic. But for now, just 3 switches should be fine, at least for up to tier 3. And next, tier 3 rocket. So, we have enough for you. We have the heavy-duty rocket cone, nose cone even. And if you're interested in more rocketry stuff, just the self-promotion, there is a new Kerbal actual playthrough on my channel if you'd like to watch a Kerbal space program. But colonization, wow, that's much larger. If I'm going to be carrying something the size of Saturn V by the time we get to tier 8, yeah, it is actually fueling, so that's pretty good. It's going to keep on using that. We're getting power independently now, so we don't need this other setup that was here. I just need to refill the gasoline occasionally, but not at the moment. We can just wait for that to finish, and then we can head off. Let's just put a couple of these things away in our system. Let's actually just cancel these filters, so they'll stack again, or maybe not. Oh, you have to put them through the crafting grid? Yeah. There we go. Put those in the system. A meteoric iron we can actually fill up. I think it's in there. Oh, we just put in the input chest. It'll sort itself out. And I've got a miscellaneous chest because they were overflowing into the others. So we got plenty of spares. And let's put the filters away. Okay, now we just need our usual set of supplies. So pedestals, charms. 2 charms will do it. 1 bound here, 1 bound somewhere else. Let's just bind it right about here. Okay, we also want the pedestal. I think I'm going to need some more. I think I'm out. Pedestal, dislocated pedestal. The fact I have enough materials for 2 is entirely coincidental, but 2 will do just fine. We can put a next one right here. I'm not sure what the colour of rock is going to be on Venus. If it follows real life, it's going to be yellowish as well. It's more atmospheric, acidic, and carbon dioxide, and yeah, but it is kind of an umber yellow. From the, I think it's the Viking pictures. Is it Viking? I can never remember. Are you finished? You are. So we have everything we need to get back, which is a good thing. And we can head up, and I'll see you in space. So here we go. We're heading for Venus, and we can launch. It is yellow. Good. Oh, and this time we're in a parachute. If this was Venus, that would, well, sort of high in the atmosphere, that might be okay, but yeah, we get crushed lower atmosphere, and there's lots and lots of magma creams. Magma, whatever they're called. Let's just evolved magma. What are they called? I can never remember. Magma cube. There we go. So there is our chest, and let's just kill a few of these, shall we? And they're evolved just because I've had to fight so many more bosses, which is a little bit annoying, but otherwise. Are we getting loads of stuff in our inventory? We are. Okay. I'm going to need to kill a few of these first. And we'll be right back once I've killed a few. So here, about about a kilometre away from where we came in, I've sorted out all the entrance over there so we can get back easily enough. And I've brought some devnils because we're going to need some... Whoops, let's just turn that mode off. Everything's going to spawn here anyway, so don't have to worry. Venus copper ore, what is it going to look like, I wonder? Carbon ore, that's what we're looking for. So, let's just grab some of you, and why do I have my mattock? That's fine. So we want the carbon ore, we don't want anything else. Venus stone, I've already got in the devnil. So let's just do this dungeon. What have we got in here? Spiders. And skeletons. Now that I actually have spawners that spawn zombies, by the way, the zombie head problem is gone away. We don't have to worry too much about those. We do have to worry about creepers, though. Whoa. Thankfully, they're not too evolved in here. We just have to get to the boss, and let's just skip most of this. Whoa, spiders. Zombies. And let's just turn off the dislocator and get rid of a lot of this stuff in my inventory, just so I don't miss anything that the boss drops. Slime pearl? Yeah, that's a new one. Okay. And is this the boss, or are we going to have a corrupt dungeon? Hopefully not. Because that's really annoying when that happens, because these dungeons are not easy to find. Looks okay at the moment if we go this way anyway. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, let's see if the boss is in here. Yep, it is. Oh, there it goes. Oh, we got blazes. Okay, where's my key? There it is. And I really hope the chest room has spawned correctly. It has. Good. Will we get what we want, or will I have another dungeon to find? Open. Tier 4 rocket. That's exactly what we came to find. All the rest, no, I don't really care for them, to be honest. And we can get back easily enough without having to walk back, just by using our portable version. And we're back at base. So Venus is done. or at least for the rocket it's done. I do need to go back, and I'll do that, you know, off camera and everything, to get the Venusaur and then set up another. This one will probably do the Venusaur and then into tier 4, which is the next stage. Let's just have a look at tier 4 rocket. Tier 4 will take us to Mercury, and Mercury is the blocker to A2. So after that point, I may not go much further until we need to. Heavy duty plate needs compressed carbon, and carbon ore is the thing on Venus. So that's pretty good. I'm going to need more of these machines. They're pretty troublesome to make, but once we get into auto crafting with AE2, that will go away. So thanks for watching. Feel free to thumbs up if you liked this episode. We've been to 3 planets now. Hang on. Moon, Mars, Venus. Yep, well, the moon isn't a planet, it's a moon. Never mind. 2 planets, I guess. And next episode, I may well show you Mercury if I get everything set up. But probably only briefly, because these planets tend to be quite similar. Just as brief as this one. And then we get the Mercury ore and on into, well, mechanism then, I think. Let's just have a look. We got the tier 3 rocket, so we got that quest. Iota, where are you? Tier 3 rockets. That's the previous boss, by the way, on Venus. 3-headed creeper that throws TNT at you. Wonderful boss. And tier 4 rocket is the next version, the next quest, if you like. And we got tier 5 all the way down to tier 9 to get to the entire solar system, I guess. But, you know, I don't think we need to go there yet. We're just going to get some of the other quests unlocked. And I guess I should probably do more in that line. But I think I want to unlock Eta, and I don't think we can get to Eta for a while yet until I get through these quests. So, I will see you next episode. Hope you liked it. I'll see you next time.